Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and today we're going over the knee-jerk reaction for Game Week 26 of FPL. If you guys are enjoying the FPL videos, drop a like and subscribe. This really does help out the channel, and also click the notification bell as well, as there's going to be lots more FPL content coming your guys' way shortly, so make sure you don't miss out with any of that. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. So in today's video, we're going to look over the most transferred in and transferred out players so far this week and give you guys a recommendation as to whether or not you should go with the crowd and bring these popular transfers into your teams or release them from your squads. We're also going to have a look at 8 players that we recommend keeping an eye on as well for some upcoming matches, as of course we do have double game weeks coming up in Game Week 27 and 29, plus a big blank to navigate in Game Week 28. So there definitely is a lot to discuss in terms of team planning for those game weeks. But first of all, let's have a look at the most transferred in players this week, beginning with Ivan Toney. Despite blanking in Game Week 25, he's been heavily brought in by managers, and I think it is with very, very good reason. Obviously, there is some slight concerns with the yellow cards. He only has to pick up 2 more yellow cards before he picks up a 2-game suspension. So that is definitely something that you need to look out for and pay attention to, as if he does pick up a yellow card in Game Week 26, you'll be really sweating if you have him for double Game Week 27 and he gets a yellow card in his first game, then he's going to miss the second fixture of the double game week. So just something to keep an eye out for. But otherwise, outside of this yellow card concern, he's a really, really good option to have in the team. So he actually got the highest predicted points out of any player across the next 6 weeks by Fantasy Football Fix. We will discuss that a little bit later as well there with Toney, and I think he's a really good option. Brentford have a good fixture Game Week 26 of Fulham at home, then they double in Game Week 27, which is good to see, and they also avoid a blank in Game Week 32, which is another fairly big blank game week coming up later on in the season. So if you want to have a solid team for Game Week 32, if you're not looking to free hit this week, then Toney could also be a good option for that game week as well, if you're looking to plan it further ahead into the future. And also considering that Brentford to have 2 double game weeks coming up in Game Weeks 27 and 29, having their assets or bringing their assets in the near future is definitely the way forward. Marcus Rashford, of course, another very popular player. He's been in superb form. It was surprising to see him get so heavily transferred out despite just blanking for 1 week, and it's been clear to see that managers are flocking to try and get him back in as soon as possible. Clearly a good player to have in the sides. Wouldn't have recommended transferring him out coming into blank Game Week 25, but if you can get Rashford into the teams, definitely look to do so, as for a player in this quality of form, you just don't want to miss out on the points, especially when his ownership's above 50% right now. And Ollie Watkins, another popular transfer, and he has now scored 5 goals and picked up 1 assist in his last 5 matches for Aston Villa, scoring in 5 consecutive games. He has been in absolutely superb form for Aston Villa, and with some great fixtures coming up, I think having the Villa forward is a really good option to have. We did bring him into our personal teams in Game Week 25. Very happy that I had him in my team for this week, as he picked up yet another goal, converting from the penalty spot, and he had a really good chance as well, saved expertly by Jordan Pickford, tipping it onto the post. So it could have been even more goals for Ivan Toney had Pickford not for Ollie Watkins had Pickford not made that save. So Ollie Watkins, another nice forward option there along with Ivan Toney. You could definitely look to pair Erling Haaland with both Toney and Watkins. I think that's a really good front three right now, if you don't already have Darwin Núñez in the team, or even if you do have Haaland and Núñez, you can opt to go for Watkins or Toney as that third forward slot, as these are 2 players that have been in pretty good form at the minute and have really good fixtures coming up. Aston Villa also double in Game Week 29, and they avoid other blank game weeks in 28 and 32 as well. So assets that will play through the majority of games this season, which is very useful, especially when you're trying to navigate how to use chips, avoid taking hits. It's good to have as many players playing in most game weeks as possible. It just gives you less headaches in regards to team selection and transfers. Looking at the most popular transfers out, though, speaking of Mitrovic, he's a player that's really faded in form since the resumption of the Premier League after the World Cup, and after picking up a hamstring injury as well, he didn't get start in the Wolves game that Fulham had, and I think he's a good transfer out, especially considering the other good forward options that we discussed in Toney and Watkins. I think those are really good replacements for Mitrovic at a very similar price. Kevin De Bruyne, another player that frustrated his owners when he didn't get the start against Bournemouth and didn't get many minutes at all in this game, actually. So he picked up 0 points in game week 25 there. And I think if you're paying that massive premium price tag for Kevin De Bruyne, you're going to expect that he's going to be starting most games. So to have him not start is definitely a red flag in terms of having De Bruyne in the team. I'd be looking to move him on to Mo Salah, who's a premium midfielder that's been in really good form, or drop him down to a mid-price midfielder and look to get in another premium asset, maybe in the forward line as well, or look to make another upgrade in around your team. Maybe look to go for a Liverpool defender, as I know their defense has been in some good form at the minute, picking up lots of clean sheets. So maybe Trent and Robbo could be good players that you could access by downgrading Kevin De Bruyne. And I just don't think he's going to be the best premium asset to have in midfield for the remainder of the season. So a good option to transfer out, in my opinion. Eddie Nketiah as well. Another frustrating one for managers as he didn't get the start, which did come as a bit of a surprise, as Trossard and Martinelli and Saka were the preferred front three there. I would expect Nketiah to get the nod in the second fixture of the Arsenal double game against Everton, and that is a very, very good fixture. I would not be surprised if Nketiah does score in this game, and then all of a sudden people are looking to get him back into the teams. So I think it's a bit knee-jerk getting rid of Nketiah right now. I think Arsenal have some really good fixtures in the near future, and Nketiah has been in good touch for Arsenal, so don't be discouraged by him getting rested in this game, as I'm sure he's going to be back starting in the second fixture of the double game week 25 and hopefully game week 26 and beyond as well. So with these popular transfers in mind, let's have a look at our Game Week 26 transfer watch list. These are 8 players here that I would recommend you guys keeping a strong eye on, if not transferring into your teams over the coming game weeks, as I have really good predicted points or have been in great touch at the minute. The first one here is Ben Mee. He's been absolutely excellent for Brentford this season. He's picked up 3 goals and 1 assist from centre back, which is a really, really good output, and he's actually got the highest XG out of any Brentford defensive asset. So obviously at 5 mil, you're paying a little bit more than a couple of those other players. Maybe Rico Henry, another good option to consider as well. He's a little bit cheaper, but has a pretty decent attacking potential. Despite playing in a more full-back role, Ben Mee still has the higher XG, obviously a very good threat from corners. Brentford are a real team to target for the remainder of the season. They avoid a blank in game week 32. They have 2 double game weeks coming up in game weeks 27 and 29, and have a great fixture this week of Fulham at home. So I would encourage managers to look towards Brentford assets. Ivan Toney, obviously the main attacking asset, and if you're looking at defenders, I think Ben Mee is a really good option. Also, Rico Henry as well, at a little bit cheaper. Brentford's defence has been in really good form, especially recently. So if you're looking to jump on a good informed defence with really good fixtures, plus double game weeks coming up, I think this could be the way. Could be the time to do so with Ben Mee or either Rico Henry as well. Ben Mee's got great predicted points, 27.4 across the next 6, which does rank towards the top 4 defenders amongst the next 6 game weeks. Also, a Stupinan, another really good pick as well. He's been a really good touch for Brighton at the minute, provided for I think 4 or 5 consecutive returns, or 4 or 5 returns in his last 6 games now for Brighton. So some really good form, getting forward, getting himself some assists, getting lots of clean sheets as well. Brighton have tightened up their defence, especially recently, picking up 3 clean sheets in their last 5 or 6 games or so now. So they've been a side that's improved defensive form. Stupinan's picked up a couple of assists as well. He's got West Ham at home in game week 26, which is a great fixture, plus has the double in game weeks 27 and 29. So Brighton, another side that are doubling up twice in the next few game weeks. So could be a good time to jump on their defensive options. Stupinan does get pretty far forward from open play, and at 4.7, a really nice budget option to have in defence if you're looking to drop down to the defender to a cheaper option. I think Stupinan could be a nice pick. He's got 26.6 predicted points across the next 6 weeks, which is also fairly high amongst defenders. As we touched on, Ollie Watkins, another really, really good pick. He's been the man in form, 5 goals and an assist in his last 5 games for Aston Villa, plus great fixtures coming up. Crystal Palace at home's up next, and I think it's a great chance for Watkins to extend his scoring run at Villa Park, and he's got really good predicted points as well, with 28.6, which does rank amongst the top 4 forwards, and especially for a player at 7.2 to have that level of predicted points, really, really good asset to have in the team there in the forward line, especially since a lot of people are looking to get rid of Mitrovic. Watkins could be a good replacement. Also, if you're not keen on Toney just because of the yellow cards, Watkins another good solution to that issue. Matoma, he's going to come back into favour as well. A lot of people had him before the blank game week. He was transferred out after blank game week 25, but I think people will look to get him back in. And if you did sit him on the bench, I think you're going to be very happy with Brighton's fixtures coming up. West Ham at home this week, a really good fixture. West Ham's defence hasn't kept that many clean sheets despite not conceding too many goals. And Matoma, 29.1 predicted points across the next 6 is very high. He's the man in form for Brighton right now. Mo Salah and Andy Robertson do remain here as the Liverpool assets on the watch list. I'm sure people will continue to get these players in. Obviously, Salah did blank in game week 25, which was a bit unfortunate for Liverpool, but Liverpool still have good fixtures coming up across the next 5 or 6 weeks, and that is why Mo Salah actually has the second highest predicted points out of any player by Fantasy Football Fix across the next 6 game weeks with 38.2. So, in my opinion, one of the better premium midfielder options to have in your teams right now. And Andy Robertson, of course, after coming off a clean sheet, it's good to see him, good to see Liverpool extend their good clean sheet run at the moment. And I think Liverpool's defence could be worthwhile jumping on. They're starting to show more defensive solidarity, picking up more clean sheets. They've got good fixtures in game week 26 and beyond. Manchester United, not necessarily the easiest fixture to have in game week 26, but after this, they do have some easier ones from a defensive perspective. Solly March as well, he's probably my favourite Brighton midfielder asset if I had to toss up between Matoma and March. March just has better underlying numbers, better overall FPL points tally, and he's got high predicted points, as you can see here, with 33.3 predicted points across the next 6, just compared to Matoma's 29. So Fantasy Football Fix do slightly prefer March of the pair, and March is 0.2 cheaper. He looked really good in game week 24. Very unlucky not to have himself an attacking return. Had a disallowed goal, plus got into some really threatening positions, provided some great chances for his teammates. Unlucky to walk away with a blank in game week 24. And I'm really excited to see what he can produce, especially with Brighton's couple of double game weeks coming up. Could even be a risky triple captain option if you're looking for a major differential. Maybe going for a Brentford or Brighton asset in their double game weeks could be a massive triple captaincy if it does pay off. And that does bring me to Ivan Toney as well as the other Brentford option we have here to accompany Ben Mee. Toney, probably the leading Brentford asset to get in the teams right now. Fulham at home is a great fixture in game week 26, a double in 27, double in 29, and avoiding a blank in game week 32. It pretty much looks like a huge green light for all Brentford options, and since Toney does have the highest predicted points with 38.4 out of any player in FPL across the next 6, I think Toney is a man that managers should look to get in for game week 26, if not at least for double game week 27. Be sure to look out for the blank in game week 28 though, which Brentford do have a chance of getting. So that's just something to consider as well when you're planning a team. Make sure you got enough players playing, or if you're free hitting in game week 28, no stress. I think getting those Brentford and Brighton players in now or game week 27 would be the right time. Thanks for watching today's knee-jerk reaction for game week 26. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, drop a like and subscribe, as it does help out the channel, and to stay up to date with all the future FPL content, which will be coming thick and fast with lots of doubles and blanks coming up. Make sure you have that notification bell turned on so you don't miss a future upload. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.